evening. We're here with Dick Nielsen. We're at the Cruise Inn, Wheels on Wednesdays at the North Sea Community House. How you doing, Mr. Nielsen?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about your car?
This car is special to me. I've owned it since I was 16 years old. Of course, it didn't look like this, but back in 1956, we had a lot of fun with it. As far as the body, everything is the original as the way I had it, but I kept the car thinking my son was going to want it, but he really didn't like it. We were on the road in 89, 90 for a year or two, and then took it off again, and then decided to redo it. So right now it has a LS1 engine, about 400 horsepower.
400 horsepower.
390, I think, to be exact. Anybody's watching, we welcome anybody that'd like to come down to look at the cars, or if you have a car, bring it on down.
Right.
We're more than glad to help anybody, and it's for a good cause.
We're here now with John Dunkirk. Can you tell us about your vehicle?
It's a 1953 Chevy Canopy Express. It was made back in the 50s to deliver food and stuff before they had real supermarkets. And, it's a 1953, and it's just something fun to do.
Is there a history on this truck? Where you got it? Have you had it for a while?
Oh, I've had it for almost 10 years. I rebuilt it in a couple of friends of mine, and there's real no local history. I bought it in Florida, so it's just something I found in Emmons. I have fun with it. I take a few shows here and there, like these, and that's all I can tell you about it. That's it.
That's great. Thank you, John. Have a great evening while you're here. Hi, what's your name?
Dave Brown.
Hi, Dave. Can you tell us about your car tonight?
Well, yeah, this is a Factory 5 kit, kit car, a Cobra, and I bought it all put together, but it didn't run. And so I took it to the shop, and we pulled the engine out, and took the fuel injection out of it, put a carburetor on it, and now it runs fine.
We're here now with Gary. Gary, can you tell us a little about your car?
It's a 1972 Monte Carlo. It's got a worked small block 383, posi rear end, 350 hydromatic transmission, candy paint job.
Have you had it long?
5 years. 5 years.
Is it a local car, or did you come from a long way?
Yeah, I live here in North Sea.
Here we are with Arthur French. Can you tell us about your car?
Yes, it's a 1951 Mercury convertible. They made 6,400 of them. There's between 60 and 100 left. This one was the 5th car off the line, November of 1950. I've had it for 35 years, and 4 years ago I painted it and put a top on it, and that's all I've ever done with it. It's got 62,000 original miles, power seats, power windows, and it's just a sweet car. I have a black coupe that I've had for 45 years.
Are you going to bring that over here next week?
It was here the first night they did it. It was here. But yeah, I'll bring that one out next week. But these are rare cars. Parts are very scarce. You can't get parts of them anymore. I mean, normal stuff. Sheet metal, not going to get it.
What a beautiful paint job.
All right, this was done by Jeff Ludwig in Denver, Pennsylvania. He did my black coupe. I found him through Don Stringham from Southampton and Roy King in East Hampton. And he painted their cars. So I sent both of my cars down. And he takes them all apart. And this is the way I got it back.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Underneath it's just as nice as what you see in there. It's all painted.
Are you enjoying the North Sea Community Association tonight?
I came the first night, and it was when you first get them off, and I see a lot more cars, and it's just to me it's nice people, nice cars, and it's a great way to spend an early evening.
Beautiful.
I want to thank you guys for doing this.
You're very welcome. We're glad to do it. Our pleasure.
It's nice. It's really nice. Really.
Thank you for your time, Mr. French.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Makes me feel old.
Here we are with Bob Schaefer. Bob, can you tell us about your car?
1938 Chevrolet, bought it in 1969, something like that. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and I went up and asked him how much he wanted to sell it for. And he said, I'll get the receipts for the past year, and he said, $250. I drove it home.
$250? Was that here in this county?
Yeah, right here in Southampton, yes. This particular engine used to race at Riverhead back in the 60s. Just the engine. And it was built by Carl Zay and driven by either Jim Malone or Frank Curtis. And Carl gave that to me a lot of years ago. And put it together, and it's been in the car ever since, and we've been having some fun with it, going to all these shows and all over the country.
Are you ever going to get it painted?
When I can get the rust stopped. The day the trade towers got hit, for some reason I had a battery in a garden tractor catch on fire. The car was bare metal at the time, and about 2 weeks after the fire, everything was settled down, this thing broke out into the worst case of rust you could ever see.
That's kind of eerie, huh?
Yeah. Messed the car all up, and it was in pieces at the time, too.
Well, heavy hearts go out for 911. Have a great night, Bob.
I said, you.
And here we are with Charlie Corwith. How about your car, Charlie? Can you tell us anything about it?
It's a 1962 Chevy Impala Supersport, redone all original.
That's it?
4 wheels and tires. Wheels and tires I changed. I do have the factory wheels at home. It's a nice car. What else can I say?
Tell us about the paint job. Did you paint it?
No, I didn't paint it. I cheated. I bought it all done like this. I went out to buy one to restore, and I found this one already done, and I couldn't redo it for that price, so we bought it.
Well, it's a beautiful car. We're glad you're here, and I hope you're enjoying the North Sea Community Association.
I'm out here every week. It's a long trip for me. I live across the street.
Thank you, Charlie. Here we are with Michael Mussolino and this fire truck. Can you tell us a little bit about it, Michael?
Yeah, this is a 1959 International. It was commissioned by the Navy, used by the Navy for a long time, and then it went up to the Croydon Fire Department upstate. We bought it and turned it into Margaritaville. And we have Chris Corwith has done all the LED lighting, stereo systems, speaker systems, electronically, 2016. We also have a Landshark beer tap system inside, 2-keg tap system, and a 2-side minibar, meaning one on this side, one on that side. And it's just used by locals to have fun, and then it goes to Jimmy Buffett in Jones Beach.
Well, that explains the Margaritaville.
Yep.
You have the beer tap, you have
Kegerator.
We got the kegerator, Margaritaville right there, so
Mini
everybody can have a good time.
Yep.
Is there anything special about the engine, anything?
Nope, just a big 6, right? You know, the top is wonderful because it fits all kinds of beach chairs and all that stuff. And then during Margaritaville, during the concert, there's dancing on top. It's a flat deck.
Does it go out on the beach?
No, not real well. It goes on, but it doesn't come off, you know?
There's a platform you can dance up there.
Now, the difference in this fire truck is these old 59s is there was no PTO is 5th gear. So you throw it in 5th gear, and then you pull up a handle, and that engages the pump system.
Just like an old tractor.
Yep, exactly. So that holds 500 gallons of water, and it's fully operational.
Are you that thirsty?
No, but I thought I could power wash my house with it, and it didn't really work. It kind of like, you know?
Oh, it didn't work for your house.
But
Okay.
it is nice to see an old truck pump, you know? It still has the ladders on the other side, and it's just fun. The kids used it in the parade, the golf team, Southampton golf team used it in the parade last year.
Cute.
You know, yeah, fun.
Yeah, it is fun, and it's a beautiful truck.
Fun time.
Okay, and one more thing, everybody. This right here shows who's cooking at the North Sea Community Association.
Come down for burgers, dogs, sodas, have a good time, see the locals, meet some friends.
And look at some really, really sweet cars.
Nice cars, nice time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michael. Have a great day. Here we are with John Spar. John Spar has a beautiful car, too. Can you tell us about yours?
Yeah, it's a 1964 Olds Jetstar 1. They made 16,000 of them, and I found it out in Springs. It was sitting there for 20 years. Flat tires, dented hood, so it's been about 5 years in the restoration, but everything's been rebuilt from top to bottom on it. And and it runs real fresh, real strong, and I kept it original. So,
It's a beautiful car.
yeah, thank you very much.
Are you having fun here tonight?
Oh, absolutely. It's always fun to get out to a car show, so, got to get in as many as we can this summer.
That's right, we do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
You do the same.
All right.
And this is Bill Sacker. Hi, Bill.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little about your car?
1962 Corvette. All original. Beautiful car.
Where'd you get it from?
That's the secret. It's from a friend of mine. I've known the car for a long time. I've only owned it for 4 years, but I've known the car for probably 15 or 20.
Good, so you have a good history on it. Is there anything special about the motor, the interior, the paint?
It's all original. That's what's special about it.
Beautiful. And there you have it, a completely original car, Bill Sacker.
Thank you very much.
Again this evening for another night of Wheels on Wednesday at the North Sea Community Association. The sponsors being the Lions Club and the North Sea Community Association. We have some new cars this week. Here we have, I'm sorry, your name, sir?
My name is Sandy Freeman.
Hi, Sandy. Can you tell us a little bit about your car?
Yes, it's a 1957 Chevy Bel Air two-door hardtop. It's an original car. It's a numbers matching car, and it's an exact match to the car I had when I was 18.
Could you possibly tell us where you got it from?
Yes, I looked 8 years for it and found it in Memphis, Tennessee.
That's awesome. And how many changes have you made to it?
All the basic changes were done. It's a frame off, complete restoration, numbers matching car. However, it didn't have power steering, it didn't have power brakes. I put steel belted radial tires on it, and just to make it the way we want it. So it matched the one I had when I was 18. But I do have all the parts we took off it. So someday if somebody buys it, it can be put back to the way it was from the factory.
How are you folks doing this evening? We see you have a beautiful red and white car here. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
It's a 1955 Chevy Bel Air with a 383 stroker motor with a 4-speed. I've had it since 2002. It's painted Porsche red and pearl white. And we just cruise around and have a lot of fun with it.
Where'd you get it from?
Massachusetts. We were at a car show in upstate New York, and we bought it from the fellow there and brought it home and used it for a little bit. Then we took it all apart and restored it.
And then it ended up in the Cruise and Style magazine and on the cover.
How did it get on the cover?
We were approached by a photographer while we were in Florida, and he asked if he could take pictures of the car, and we said, sure, go ahead. He says, oh no, a professional shoot. So we went to a golf course, and he took all the pictures, and then it ended up in the Cruise and Style magazine and on the cover.
How interesting that that very car in that magazine is your car. Beautiful. We're glad to have you. I hope you enjoy the North Sea Community Association and also the Lions Club, who is another sponsor of this event. So enjoy your night here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I recognize this guy from last time. Mr. French, tell us about this car.
Well, it's also a 1951 Mercury. This is a coupe that I've owned for 45 years. And it's followed me all around Long Island in the years as I gradually moved east. I had it painted 16 years ago, and everything else was the way I had it when I bought it. Those are 41 Lincoln push-button door handles from a Lincoln Continental, and 57 Cadillac hubcaps, wide whites, 54 Merc taillights, pinstriping done by Gary, the local brush. He's painted every car, all done freehand. He does all that freehand.
Beautiful. I love it. Can you tell us about the interior?
The interior is rolled and pleated Naugahyde, and there was a company in Mineola by the name of K&M Custom Interiors. And I went in there and I told him I wanted the interior done, rolled and pleated, and a headliner. And he said to me, I got to get $250 for that. And I said to him, what are you, crazy? $250? That would cost you $15,000 today.
Imagine that.
That would have cost. It's got the original flathead engine in it that the car had. But the only thing is I put Chrysler ignition in it, so it starts very quickly.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, right?
You have to do what you have to do. You do, but it's, the love of my life is these old cars. I just, relive my childhood, I guess. That's American Graffiti. That was on the back of one of the cars in American Graffiti.
Here we are with Terry McGowan. Can you tell us a little bit about your car?
Well, it's a 1957 Chevy Nomad. It's got an original 283 motor in it. We tried to keep everything as original as possible on it. It's got a California frame. And the original colors on it were supposed to be black with a black and silver interior, but I prefer the copper, so we went copper.
One more question. How did you get it?
It was my brother-in-law's. We sold a 58 T-Bird to buy it.
And this is Mary. Mary, can you tell us about your gorgeous car?
It's a 1954 Kaiser Darren, made in Jackson, Michigan.
And where did you get it from?
eBay.
I'm going on eBay. So do you know anything about the paint, or have you redone it?
It's the original color, but it was repainted once. The interior was original, but it faded, so we had it dyed to match the. It was supposed to be the color of the car, but we had it re-dyed.
You did a good job.
Yeah, we took it to Kessler.
Yeah,
and they computer match it.
We're here with John Farrell. John, can you tell us about your car?
It's a 1934 Ford Roadster. So last month it actually turned 82 in June, manufactured in June of 34. So that birthday. This is the car that Bonnie and Clyde stole every time they got a chance to do it. Elliot Ness chased the people in the car. J. Edgar Hoover had one. Actually, Frank Lloyd Wright had 8, virtually identical to this. And Ernest Hemingway bought one when he got his first big check from The Sun Also Rises. So a lot of people had this car, and it's very fast. It won the first 7 places at the Elgin Road Races in its first year, and then it won the first 11 places in the Gilmore Cup the year after that. It won the Gilmore Cup as well. So it's really a lot of racing history. Big V8. The car weighs almost nothing. 600 pounds less than a Mini Cooper. So you got the big engine, you got almost no weight in the car, and that just made it sought after by the police and the people the police were chasing.
Wherever did you find this car?
Okay, I went to big car show in Newport, Rhode Island in 1979. We saw this car, the same car that's here. We saw it, my wife and I fell in love with it, the color, and we said someday we'll have it. We got a car in a house at Bridgehampton with a 2-car garage, and I saw it advertised in Hemmings, and so I called. It turned out to be the very same car, but the same restore, the same color that we had seen 15 years earlier. And so I said, did you advertise the 34 Ford? And he said, I did, but I sold it. And he was hanging up on me, and I said, wait a minute, who did you sell it to? He said, I sold it to the person in Philadelphia. So then I called the person when he gave me his number, and I said, did you buy the car? And he said, I did, but I sold it. In fact, right now it's on a flatbed truck. They're going to take it to Boston. They're going to chop it, channel it, drop a Chevy V8 into it. And he said, wait a minute, I think the truck may still be here. He went to his garage where it was. The truck was there, the car was there. He felt guilty about destroying something that had been in a museum for 20 years. And so he said, come to Philadelphia this weekend, and if you like the car, I'll sell it to you. That was 22 years ago.
Amazing story. I'm glad you found it. I'm glad you traced it. I'm glad you got it back.
Thank you. I think it was meant to be, and everybody says that it was, so we're really enjoying it.
So it's beautiful. Have you made any changes whatsoever to it?
No, it still has mechanical brakes on it. It still has the original engine.
there are no changes. It's really as it was designed. From between 32 and 34, the design was firmed up.
Anything to add? Any crazy stories?
My daughter grew up in the rumble seat's still open. She grew up in the rumble seat. There's a very definite technique. You put your right foot on the bumper, your left foot on the little step pad, right foot on the next step pad, and then you fall into the rumble seat. And so that's the technique that my daughter perfected when she was between 7 and 8, and that's the way you do it. So two people sit here, 2 or 3 children can sit here.
What a great story. Hope you're enjoying your evening here.
Thank you so much. It's a great event. Great being here.
We're here now with David Elliston, and he's got one of the older ambulances. Can you tell us about your vehicle?
Well, it's a 1980 Ford, and it was used by in Hampton Bays, by the ambulance company there, and we bought it from the ambulance company in Hampton Bays.
Very nice. Have you made any changes to it?
Well, we fixed a couple things. We put like an alternator in, a starter, and we did a few minor repairs on it. It's good.
Do you take it around much?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Do you have anything to add, sir?
We enjoy the older vehicles and preservation of historic things. And, it's something different and fun to drive. We have a couple older military vehicles, a Deuce and a Half, and a 85 military Blazer, and an 87 Monte Carlo, and I'm working on a 68 C10 right now. So.
Well, awesome. Maybe we'll see you here with some of those.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Have a great day and enjoy the North Sea Community Association.
You too.
Thank you. We have Todd Tereski here, and it looks like he's got a race car. Can you tell us about it, Todd?
Sure. This is a car that I purchased last year. It's a copy of the Merv Treichler car out of Lockport, New York, and it's actually registered for the street. So it's kind of interesting. Gets lots of looks, and I took it to Riverhead about a month and a half ago. We ran it for a vintage night over there, and had a good time with it. And everybody loves to see it when I take it out. So it's pretty interesting, and it's nice. It's a lot of fun. And I don't race it at all, but it can be raced. It was raced in its previous life, and in a vintage class up in upstate New York. So I haven't raced it here. I've been racing around on the streets at 30 miles an hour. I got it from Lockport, New York, which is up by Niagara Falls, and purchased it last year around September. We have a car show in Watermill that we put on with Charlie Corwith and whatnot, and I wanted to have that car for the show, so I purchased it and had it delivered for the show. So it was kind of fun. It has a little bit of history to it, and Merv Treichler was on the back there. It has some listing of some of the tracks that he won at, and track champions and stuff like that. So, and I think it was his birthday last week. So,
how timely is this?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Not bad.
Well, it's nice meeting you. We're glad you're here, and all the other drivers of the other antique cars. Have a great night, and I hope you're enjoying your evening here.
Will do. Thank you.
Welcome.
Bye-bye now.
Here we are at the grill, and look who's taken over Mike Mussolino's job. Hi, Richard. This is Richard Nielsen. I also understand that this benefits the Lions Club. We know it benefits the North Sea Community Association. Could you tell us about the Lions Club, please?
Well, our Lions Club here is based right in North Sea here, with the same as the community house. We sell our Christmas trees here in the wintertime, and we want to do something between the community house and the Lions together to get the community out, and we set a car cruise night.
And look what you have. You have people gathering, you got cars, and each week more and more cars. So we're hoping for more as we go on.
Yep, we hope for more, and there's different people all over the island. East Hampton, Riverhead, Mattatuck, Amagansett, we get them all.
It's awesome. It's amazing. And I hope the best for the Community Association and the Lions Club, too.
Well, thank you. And I got to get to the grill again.
Here we are with Woot of the North Sea Fire Department, and he's got one of their antique trucks. Maybe he can tell us a little bit about it.
It's a 1921 Dodge Brothers. We had it restored about 5-6 years ago. We bought it from East Hampton back in 1935, and it's been in the department ever since.
Awesome. Could you tell us anything about any restorations you may have done to it?
It was a total restoration, complete everything. We actually sent it away. Hendrickson did it.
What is this canister on the side?
That's the Indian can. That's, you fill that with water in it, and that thing just pumps water out of it.
Pumps the water out to put fires out in the woods or something like that,
Yeah.
correct? Okay, and on the back it looks like you have another canister. What does that do?
That one's that's like your fire extinguisher thing.
Oh, okay, so it's another way to put out fires. And there's an axe. Of course, you need an axe to get into things or chop things down.
Yes.
This is Pat, another member of the North Sea Fire Department with a different antique truck. Can you tell us about this truck?
This truck is a 1949 Ward La France. It's actually an old Cold Spring Harbor truck.
Okay. Do you have any information on the motor, the paint job, restorations?
It is a straight six, horrible beast that is tough to work on and find parts for.
Okay. Do you guys use it at all?
Yeah, we take it everywhere. I mean, it's kind of our beater. We actually drove all these things to Heckscher not too long ago. To Heckscher State Park. There was a giant photo of all types of antique fire apparatus and ambulances and stuff like that, and it was hot. It was very hot.
Okay, so what do you think the main thing is when a guy looks at this fire truck and he's a firefighter? What is he going to be interested in?
Where's the pump? or where's the beer? You can have him pour beer out of it.
Okay, it's called the War Wagon?
We roughed this thing up. We used to paint it with kindergarten paint for parades, like all types of colors and themes and stuff. And every time we cleaned it, it took more and more paint off it. So we finally put some brush paint on it. This last winter, we put Rust-Oleum all over it, and it came out pretty nice.
What are the pillows for?
Well, the original seat was a little beat up, and we decided that we would customize the cushions to have somewhat of a seat.
So now we have a North Sea chop shop?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I mean, it's comfy. It's better than plywood.
Yeah, I can't imagine driving this sitting on plywood.